With astonishing precision, the Tomahawk cruise missile is capable of penetrating a target building's window from a distance of up to 2,500 kilometers. Since 1991, the U.S. military has employed this weapon in its wars. Thanks to advanced technologies, the U.S. military can effectively destroy targets from great distances without deploying soldiers directly onto the battlefield. With its ability to strike deep into strategic targets with near-perfect accuracy, the Tomahawk poses a significant threat to any city or military force. Before delving into a detailed analysis, it can be simply understood that a cruise missile is a type of winged missile. Developed and continuously improved by the U.S. military across multiple generations, the Tomahawk cruise missile was officially introduced in 1983. Today, it has become an icon of American warfare weaponry and is regarded as a game-changer in modern combat rules. Some basic specifications of this missile include a weight of 1.3 tons, a length of 6.25 meters, and a diameter of 0.52 meters. During the wars in Vietnam and Korea, the U.S. military suffered heavy losses in both manpower and resources. At that time, bombers were the most effective means of attack, but came with high risks. To ensure accuracy, planes had to fly low, making them easy targets for enemy air defense systems. The Vietnam battlefield became a nightmare for U.S. air forces and infantry, resulting in significant financial and strategic losses. Dropping bombs precisely on individual targets in Vietnam was extremely difficult and dangerous, prompting the U.S. to drop thousands of tons of bombs for widespread destruction, yet still failing in the end. With the advent of the Tomahawk cruise missile, most of these weaknesses have been overcome. Never before has a firepower assault been as easy and effective as it is today. With a single press of a button, results can be determined from afar. Nearly 90% of the world's cities could potentially become targets of this missile. The Tomahawk cruise missile can be launched from ground-based platforms, warships, or nuclear submarines. When striking targets over 1,000 kilometers away, the Tomahawk ensures secrecy and safety. If launched from a submarine, it becomes a surprise attack that leaves the enemy with little chance to respond. Launching the missile from land or warships is relatively straightforward, but launching from a nuclear submarine requires advanced technology. With modern submarine generations, the missile can be fired from a depth of 50 meters underwater. However, since the missile's engine cannot operate underwater, a compressed gas launch system is used to propel it out of the water at speeds exceeding 80 kilometers per hour. Once it breaches the surface, the missile ignites its fuel and transitions into flight mode. The Tomahawk employs terrain contour mapping for navigation, allowing it to follow a predetermined route with precision and evade enemy defense systems. In its final phase, it receives satellite commands to pinpoint the target, with an error margin of just about 10 meters. Unlike conventional missiles that climb high into the atmosphere, the Tomahawk maintains an altitude of just a few dozen meters, sometimes flying as low as 15 meters above the ground. This helps it avoid detection by enemy radar, which is typically positioned high to cover wide areas, while the Earth's curvature creates blind spots at low altitudes. Exploiting this vulnerability, the Tomahawk can bypass defenses and strike its target accurately. The U.S. often uses this missile in opening military strikes, targeting strategic assets deep within enemy territory, catching adversaries off guard. Additionally, the Tomahawk can carry nuclear warheads, amplifying its danger and destructive potential. Despite its many advantages, the Tomahawk has certain weaknesses. With a flight speed of about 800 kilometers per hour comparable to a passenger jet, it can be intercepted by air defense systems or shoulder-launched missiles. During the 1991 Gulf War, the U.S. launched 288 Tomahawk missiles, but 29 were shot down, a 10% loss rate. Similarly, in 1999, air defenses downed about 40 Tomahawks, a 20% loss rate. The Tomahawk cruise missile also comes with a high price tag of $1.6 million. As of 2014, to use it effectively, the U.S. requires precise intelligence to target high-value strategic assets. For instance, in a recent attack, the U.S. fired 59 Tomahawks at Syria. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, only 22 reached their targets, causing limited damage to personnel and infrastructure, rendering the estimated cost of over $100 million disproportionate to the results achieved. In military circles, intelligence is a decisive factor in a campaign's success or failure. No matter how advanced the weaponry, without accurate target data, using an expensive asset like the Tomahawk can become wasteful. Today, with advancements in satellite technology and reconnaissance systems, gathering intelligence has become more critical than ever. When facing a firepower assault, Intercepting it from the outset remains the best defense strategy. Regardless of whether one's firepower is strong or weak, knowing oneself and the enemy remains the key to victory on the battlefield.